Welcome to the KingCast, the live podcast where we cover the latest Bethesda news. The KingCast is every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Central, right here in the King's Corner. The King's Corner is the place for all things Bethesda, so if you love Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, and even Starfield, and you're not subscribed yet to the KingFanMan channel, hit that subscribe button for the latest in Bethesda news, lore, live streams, podcasts, and more. Now here is your host of the KingCast. He's not a fanboy, he is the KingFanMan. Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan, and this is the KingCast. How is everybody today? Thank you for spending just a little bit of your Saturday right here in the King's Corner. I have a great co-host today. His name is Shades of Slay, and he does some amazing Bethesda work. Y'all please go and subscribe to him. Not only is his link down in the description of this video, also it's in the pinned comment, so please subscribe to him right now. Shades, it is so great to have you on the show today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's brilliant to be here.
Yes, would you kind of properly introduce yourself by telling a little about yourself and your channel as well?
Yep, absolutely. So I am a fairly newish content creator, I would say, on YouTube. I started about 3 years ago, and I would say my channel has really started to kind of pick up in the past year and a half, sort of two years kind of time. Probably be able to tell from my accent that I'm from somewhere in Europe, but I'm Scottish.
Yes.
And I cover a mix of, it's Bethesda focused, so a mix of Fallout and Elder Scrolls mainly is what I'm most interested in, basically.
Awesome. Well, with our two accents today, we're gonna throw people off. My deep Southern American accent, and yours. But hey, I do have Irish in my blood. Does that count? I've got I have red beard and all that stuff. So it was before it turned gray, anyway. Well,
you're one of us, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. If you love Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, and Starfield, and you're not subscribed to me yet, why not? Please go ahead and do that. But yeah, Shades is doing amazing work over there. His channel is doing gangbusters right now. So y'all please be sure and go subscribe and check out his work. Let me say a quick thank you to my members and Patreons for keeping the lights on. Y'all do God's work. Boy, thank y'all so much for doing that. Think about joining the channel as well if you'd like to support the channel. And also remember that the super chats are open because I don't watch the chat as much as I should when I have a co-host on. But Doll, I see you. Grish, I see you. Hey, the Dang Surfer's here as well. But if y'all really want something asked or said, put it on a super chat and bring it forward. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to go over Fallout 76, Starfield, the multiple Fallout projects, a huge Xbox leak. We might even go into some Fallout lore as well. I want to talk about Fallout 3's controversial ending if we get time. Talk about the Fallout TV show. We've got so much to talk about, so we're just going to jump right in because an hour or an hour and a half, we may even keep you 30 minutes longer today. That's not long enough. So we're going to start with Fallout 76. Not much at all going on with 76. It is double XP weekend right now, so remember that. That ends Monday the 16th. And then Foshnacht starts Tuesday. If you don't have enough polka music in your life, then come on back to Foshnacht, the 17th through the 3rd. So it starts Tuesday, next Tuesday. By the way, I do want to tell you there are new AFK rules that are being applied to the Foshnacht parade. So make sure you're near the end boss when the event closes because they're trying to keep people from AFKing a lot. So you have a much better chance of getting one of the glowing masks if you're closer to the enemy boss. And by the way, there are two new masks this year. There is the Captain Mask and the Bonehead Mask. And both of them have glowing variants as well. And there's a possible new event coming in July. We might talk about that later. But I want to start with the Xbox leak that came out not long ago. And it's got some pretty cool Bethesda news in it. It is all of Xbox plans for 2026 was leaked. And it's got Killian. It's that, I don't know if you saw that, Shades. It's a pottery, a bunch of pots beating each other's what it is, beating up on each other. But yeah, that launches in April. Forza Horizon 6 launches in May. There is a Halo Campaign Evolved remake coming out this summer. Fable is coming out in autumn. We already knew that. Gears of War E-Day, that's been rumored, is coming out the second half of 2026. But now this is the cool news, Bethesda fans. The first thing it says on this leak is Starfield content arriving soon. Well, we know about that now because of an insider. But it also says Fallout 3 Remastered coming soon.
Ooh.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Shades? When do you think the Fallout 3 Remastered is coming? Do you think we might see it this year? I mean, that is their 2026 plan, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it certainly seems more realistic than... I remember there was everybody was getting excited about this countdown on the Fallout TV show website that there might be some sort of New Vegas remaster. That sort of seemed a bit kind of, unlikely to me. Like, or not. Whereas the idea of a Fallout 3 remaster coming out in the next few months or something, given this piece of evidence as well, doesn't seem hugely unlikely. And I think I don't know if I would bet my life on it, but I think if they're seriously getting towards completion of Fallout 3 for a remaster, then surely New Vegas is kind of probably, I would imagine, would be worked on alongside it.
Yes, I do think they're working on them concurrently. I'm so glad you said that. They've already done Oblivion, and then you think Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, not only are they in the same engine, they share the same assets. I mean, you would think they would work on them side by side. Absolutely.
What I find really funny is, and this happened, do you know what's funny now that I'm saying this? I can't actually remember, right, what it specifically was, but they sort of left bugs in the game. Like when they remastered it, there was bugs that were left in Oblivion that were there.
Yeah. They said it's part of the charm.
Yeah. So we'll probably get to see some cookiness. Now,
no doubt.
And I, in the, what we call it, the green room, when we were talking before.
Yes.
We'll just make ourselves sound really official by saying that.
Yes.
But
I like that.
You sort of mentioned the shooting aspect, and I wonder whether there will be some slight, do you know what I mean? Some slight modernization to Fallout 3.
Yes, I absolutely believe they're going to make it at least where you can aim down the sights. Remember, Fallout New Vegas, you can, but in Fallout 3, you cannot even aim down the sights. I mean, it's really... So, yeah, I do believe they're going to modernize the shooting as much as they can. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Strange that leak said coming soon, meaning, we know Starfield's coming next month. I don't think Fallout 3 Remastered's coming next month. But I've always said I thought Fallout 3 Remastered is going to come out very close to the Fallout Season 3. Well, they're not even starting the official taping until May. So we probably won't get Season 3 this December. It'll probably be next year before we get Season 3. I wonder if they'll hold on to it and wait. Maybe that's why that thing does not have a date on it yet.
Yeah, or it may be that they see Fallout 3 remaster and the New Vegas remaster as well, if and when that comes. They might see that as a sort of content bridge.
Yes.
As well. Do you know what I mean? So there's that. There's
100%.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but as Jeremy I can't say this name. Jeremy Dalsrud, I think, said in the chat here, just something pointed out. Coming soon can be anywhere from an hour to 10 years, and it's very true. It's it is entirely possible
Yes.
that when I say, "Oh, it could come in the next couple of months," that's not unrealistic.
No.
That's not to say that I have any certainty about that.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
But and understand, I want y'all to understand before we move on from this. This was their leak about what is coming in 2026. Now, obviously, there's not a date on it, but when it says Starfield coming soon, we know that's next month. They just didn't know when it was coming yet. So I wonder if they are, or at least had plans at some time to release it this year, the end of this year. I believe it's going to be a shadow drop, just like they did Oblivion. Todd Howard loves to do that kind of stuff to give us no notice. So I expect it could either be this late this year or they'll wait on the Fallout Season 3. One or the other. Yeah. Well, since they said Starfield in that, let's go ahead and talk about Starfield, because we do know now from insiders, if you can trust insiders. And by the way, both of these insiders that have confirmed these things are very well-respected insiders. They're saying that all of the stuff that's coming to Starfield, the PS5 port, the DLC, the overhaul to the space travel, also some new systems are being added, and upgrade to the Creation 2 engine, which means less loading screens. They tell us it's going to be released April the 7th, and it's probably going to have a Bethesda showcase in March. They're going to show us in March anyway, but I expect it's going to be just a Starfield only showcase, and they'll probably even give us some gameplay, because they're really going to want to push this with it going to the PS5. This is my opinion. They're really going to want to push this to get as many players as they can back in Starfield. Don't you think? I mean, because this is Starfield's big chance with it coming to the PS5 to get that player count up.
Yeah, I think so. I think Starfield has a reasonable chance at, and it does have an audience, if we want to call it that. There is a set of people who vibe with it and like it. Obviously, that audience is less than for the other mainline games. If you think about when I say mainline games, if you think about your Skyrim, your Fallout 4, whatever. Yeah,
yes.
the Bethesda role-playing games, basically.
Yes.
Whether or not what's being added fixes the game, I don't know. I almost feel like for Starfield to be, for me, to be in love with it the way that I am with the other games, despite their flaws. That's the thing. Starfield's flaws to me broke the love, the ability to fall in love with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, we were talking about before the show that we both like the game. It's just not on the same level as Elder Scrolls or Fallout. And that's truly the way I feel. I still go back, I still play it, I love it, but it's just not, it don't have that Bethesda magic to it to me. Now, if you really love space games, you may love it more, and that's fine. But yeah, it's got some things that I don't know are fixable.
Yeah, I mean, to me, you would almost have to completely, and you know what? Maybe a modder will do this at some stage, or a team,
Yeah.
right? Where what would basically what I would do is I would reduce the entirety of Starfield to one solar system.
Yes, or just a few. Yeah, there's no need of so many. Yeah,
and maybe handcraft the planets, you know.
Yes,
rather than.
That's exactly what they should have done. I think that's exactly what they should have done. Very quick, I got a super chat here from Stan Tall. Thank you, Stan Tall. I appreciate that. He says, I hope they keep the green tint for the remaster. And he's talking about Fallout 3 remaster. Oh, by the way, here Walter's on hand. He gives you a...
Stop squeezing me, you moron.
We give people Walters for super chats. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is a controversial topic. The green tint of Fallout 3. Some people absolutely love it, and some people hate it. What do you think? Are they going to take the? I really believe they're going to take it away in the remastered. I think they will.
I've got a funny feeling about it. I don't. If they're going to do it, I think they'll probably do it in a different way. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I think there'll be a.
I think it'll be toned down anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Especially because I think they're going to want to. They probably, like we said, will be working around the same time as New Vegas. So, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I can't imagine that they would do something that would completely disassociate them from each other.
From each other. That's a great point. That's an absolutely great point. I got one more question on Starfield, and we're going to go back to Fallout because I've got a lot of Fallout stuff today. But on the DLC, and I'm up in the air on this one. I have no idea. There was a trademark that came out shortly after the game was launched that was named Starborn. And everybody thought, okay, this is going to be one of the DLCs. But then Bethesda themselves teased the phrase Terran Armada. So are we getting Terran Armada as the DLC? Or are we getting Starborn as the DLC? Or are they both associated with it in some way? Do you have any thoughts on that, Shades?
I guess the name Starboard, I always kind of felt as if that was going to be sort of your final DLC, like your wrapping up the story. I mean, it's got the name. You know what I mean? It's the name of what the
main quest
protagonist is, effectively. Yeah. Terran Armada. Yeah, I mean, it feels more likely to me that would come out and flesh out that part of the game first. Do you know what I mean?
I love that thought. Well, then I have to ask a follow-up question with you then. Do you think, since the player numbers have dropped off so much with Starfield, do you think this DLC is going to be the last, or will Microsoft allow them to go ahead and make that Starborn DLC after this one? Or is it according to how this one does?
Well, the thing is, I mean, I think, and I could be wrong with this, I would need to go back and check, but I think DLCs are made it's highly possible that these DLCs are already finished. You know? They've already been worked on.
Yes.
And they're just putting them out to a schedule.
Yes.
So I think that was what happened with, if you look at New Vegas, for instance, and the DLCs that came out, I think they were pretty much. I would need to confirm this, though.
Yeah,
I would need to confirm it.
You're absolutely right. They do work on DLCs while the game's going on. I don't believe like some of the bigger ones are finished, but yeah, they're already set out and they got the tone, everything written, ready to go. So yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. I'm just afraid Microsoft has told Bethesda, move on from Starfield. We need Elder Scrolls. We need Fallout. When Bethesda's not calling the shots anymore, we have to remember that. And Microsoft got really upset that Bethesda didn't have anything ready for when there was such a spike in the Fallout games last year, when the season 1 or year before last, when season 1 came out. They were really upset about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, my goodness, was there a time to if there was a time to capitalize on it, you know, I mean, it was incredible, wasn't it?
Yes. Mario says the tint is gone, just like Oblivion. They did change the Oblivion graphics. And then Jeremy, it's such funny. He says the Unreal Engine can't handle the green tint. That's hilarious. I want to quickly talk about the Fallout TV show, and then we'll get into some Fallout 5 news. I put out a video today because it just blew my mind. The connections with what's season 2 ended up, and the canceled game Fallout Van Buren. You're aware and know of the game Fallout Van Buren, right?
Yes.
Yes. Of course, for those that don't know, Fallout Van Buren was going to be the third game to make a trilogy of Fallout made by Black Isles and Interplay. But of course, they never got to because Fallout was sold to Bethesda. We got Fallout 3, and the rest is history. But Fallout Van Buren was already written mostly. We know the characters, we know where they were going to go, we know a lot about this game. And the interesting thing is, and this is what blew my mind, is Season 2 actually canonized, because Fallout Van Buren is not canon, obviously, it was never made, but Season 2 of the TV show canonized at least one of the places in Fallout Van Buren on one of the maps during the Brotherhood of Steel scene. It's behind him. You can see Tibbetts Prison. And Tibbetts Prison is the place where Fallout Van Buren starts. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. But I did a whole video on how Van Buren ties in with what I think's coming in Season 3, because, of course, Coop is going to Colorado, and Colorado is the main setting for Fallout Van Buren. And I'll just give you one more, and then y'all go watch my video. But we know that Barb, Coop's wife, and daughter went to Colorado. We saw that there at the last. That's why the ghoul's going to Colorado. Well, you wonder, how is she going to be alive after 200 years? Well, a neat thing is, in Fallout Van Buren, there was a place called the Boulder Dome in Boulder, Colorado. And they had a sinister organization, kind of like the Enclave, working on a new world order, just like what Hank's doing with the Enclave in the TV show. But the people who resisted were all cryo-frozen. There were 600 people cryo-frozen in the Boulder Dome. So could this be where or how Barb is still alive in Season 3? That would be amazing.
Do you know, there was a mod that I played for New Vegas a long time ago. I believe it was called something like Beyond the Boulder Dome or something.
Yes.
So I think what that mod had done was bring some things from Van Buren into the game. I'm super intrigued, I think it would be a lot of fun to see the concept art and the things that, when you look at the tech, there was like a tech demo or a test version of Van Buren, wasn't there?
Yes.
There's all this, all you need to do is to go to the Fallout wiki page for Van Buren. It's all there, all the information, and obviously watch your video.
Yes.
As well, which is what you should do first.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think it will be more fun to see that for people, because I think there has been some discomfort from people maybe seeing things that they've got used to from the games being different.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Van Buren, there'll probably be a more relaxed attitude from the fandom to that, because it's not messing with something that people have a huge emotional connection with.
Exactly.
I mean, I can speak to how I feel about this if you want.
Yes.
About how I felt about the show so far.
Absolutely.
I think it's probably the best video game adaptation that there has ever been. TV. I think that's the first thing I'm going to say.
100%.
And I enjoyed the show.
Yes.
And I had to very carefully do a couple of things though, which was, and this is my own headcanon, my own way of coping with things like this, right? So, particularly with Season 2, things like the Strip, the Atomic Wrangler, like seeing these things on screen was wonderful, but at the same time there's that part of me that's like, that's not quite in the right place, or how come, I will say, in fact, I'm going to say this before I go any further, it's already been out, but if you listen beyond this point, you're going to hear spoilers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I'd be upset, maybe thinking it's a shame that the Strip's destroyed.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
or the kings are all ghouls, and Lucy shot one that looked like the king. Oh man, you talk about heartbreak for me. But yeah, go ahead.
was. It was.
It's the best faction in Fallout ever, and what did they do to it? But go ahead. Yeah.
I know, and the thing is, though, there is an element here. I read something online because I do think some people have got a bit hysterical about it, right?
Yes.
But that is, but they're perfectly entitled not to like it, right? And that's totally fine.
Yes.
But there was a thing that I read somewhere on Reddit or something that made me laugh because it was just funny to imagine it. Where the person said, "It is so clear that Todd Howard just hates New Vegas and has used this series as a weapon to take out New Vegas," or something like that, right?
Yes.
And it kind of amused me. I think there may be a slight element of truth there to this, right? Not that he's done it on purpose or that that's what he's doing, but I do think that he's a human being, and I do think that it may not have sat particularly well with him that New Vegas got acclaim after Fallout,
right,
is getting all this praise, right? And is it completely unrealistic to think that maybe there's a couple of pot shots in there?
No, he's a human, like you said, absolutely.
Yeah, but I don't think it was a 100% campaign to just sully the name of New Vegas forever. I mean, it's just
no.
Yeah, it's funny to think of Todd having a meeting with people to discuss the destruction of New Vegas.
How are we going to tear up the Brotherhood, and how are we going to tear up the Kings, and but yeah, I mean, a lot has happened. But if you go back to an area, I don't care where you go, whether it's New Vegas or Boston or things are going to change, and in the Fallout world, things are going to get tore up too. So I can see that side of it as well, that he's not doing it necessarily on purpose, that things in the Fallout world are always kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I wasn't so happy with, I would say personally, was the idea that the courier was just some loser.
Yeah.
Who didn't really do it. And there's also the fact that it kind of makes it a little bit weird to play New Vegas if you're constantly thinking, wow, there's all this stuff under the surface, this much bigger story.
Yeah.
That we're not, what are we doing? Nothing really.
We're doing nothing. I get probably a lot of people had this moment though. When the NCR Ranger shot the Death Claw, I was thinking, oh yeah, it's the courier. It's the courier. Yeah, boy.
I would have loved that.
I would have too. Yes, I had a fanboy moment there for a minute. I did. Hey, DeMarco, dude, glad you're here. I love this comment. Bradley says, no, it's not Bradley. It's Fixture says, some of us colorblind people never notice the green tint. Y'all are hilarious. Well, speaking of Fallout, let's go ahead and keep talking TV show, because we're going to get into Fallout 5, and Todd Howard actually gave us a little update on Fallout 5, but don't get too excited. Obviously, he didn't tell us much of anything. But we do know that Todd has said that Fallout 5 is going to exist in a world where the things of the TV show have happened or are happening. And, of course, people are always going to get some crazy ideas. Now there's a bunch of people thinking, aha, we're actually going to go to Colorado in Fallout 5 because that's what they're setting up. But I do wonder, are they using the TV show to set up what's going on in the West Coast? Because, a lot of people have thought San Francisco for a long time. Are they using it to shape up the factions the way they need to be shaped for Fallout 5? Is that another way to look at the show?
It could be. I mean, I think there's a part of me that hopes that there'll be a bit of a separation between the show and in any new game.
Yes.
Because I think the danger with a TV show when it comes to a series like Fallout is that a game series like Fallout, rather, is that a TV show can crystallize things into being certainties that take away some of the fun of the freedom of being able to play the game.
Yes.
And that's one of the major draws of the Fallout games, is that, particularly with New Vegas, if we look at that,
so many choices, yeah.
Yeah, you choose your own fate.
Yes.
and affect the world. It was funny that you mentioned the controversial original Fallout 3 ending earlier on, because that's something, you remember well how people reacted
Yes.
to that, you know?
I wasn't happy for a couple of
Yeah,
reasons. We're going to talk about that. Absolutely. Hey, DeMarco, dude. I don't know if I said hey, but hey, Guitar and Gaming asked, wasn't New Vegas supposed to be a DLC to Fallout 3, or am I wrong on that? Yeah, it wasn't. Of course, Fallout New Vegas, I mean, I know most everybody knows now, it was made by Obsidian. That was going to be the main people that were going to make Fallout 3, and before it sold, because they were at Black Isle Studio, you had several of them. And by the way, speaking of that, Shades, a lot of those guys have come back to Obsidian now. I don't know if you've noticed. John Gonzalez, the lead writer of New Vegas, is back at Obsidian.
mm,
Tim Kaine is at Obsidian. Of course, he was Fallout 1, Fallout 2. Josh Sawyer, I think there's like 45 people of the original 70 people that made New Vegas back at Obsidian now.
yeah. I heard about this. I heard there
Yes.
was some doings going on there with that, which I think it's very positive, because unfortunately, I think what a lot of people don't realize is that, like, they'll look at the name of a developer and go, Obsidian is Obsidian, yeah, and that's
Mm-hmm.
it. Oh, Obsidian are developing this, therefore it's going to be great because they made this other game.
Right.
However, if none of the people are there, then it's not really the same company, is it?
No, it's
It's
not.
a entirely different.
It's kind of like saying Bethesda Game Studios nowadays, because half the studios left since Microsoft came in, which is sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild, isn't it?
It is wild. Well, then, I got two questions since we're Fallout talking. We started talking about Fallout 5, but I'm going to talk Obsidian first. Do you think there's a possibility? Todd Howard says there's a lot of other Fallout projects. He confirmed there's a lot of unannounced Fallout projects out there. Do you think there's a possible Fallout spinoff in the works, whether it's Obsidian or somebody else? I will tell you what I know. What I do
Mm.
know is Microsoft did meet with Obsidian twice about Fallout. Now, I don't know what came of those meetings. Of course, they're not going to tell me or anyone else. Microsoft also met with In Exile about Fallout. This was all because they were so upset that Bethesda didn't have anything and were working on the Elder Scrolls instead of a Fallout. So they knew they needed Fallout now. Now, again, what came of those meetings, I have no idea. But what do you think of the possibility of a Fallout spinoff coming in the future?
I think it's entirely possible. What Microsoft will be frustrated with, they'll be describing it as a content pipeline, right? Now, um, which will also be a product. Like, effectively, your call to action, what people are going to do. So they will be looking at the TV show and saying, okay, you've got this great marketing, yeah, and we do make some money out of this, right? However, this needs to be taking people to something that we can sell them,
Yes.
yeah. So I would imagine that, yeah, that is, if there are quick wins. Say, for example, what they might do, maybe there's an engine that's already upgraded for Fallout 5 with assets of some kind for them to use, or maybe they would use Starfield's engine, or create some kind of New Vegas-y type, not side game, but like a spin-off. Yeah,
Spinoff,
I
yeah.
think you used the word spin-off. Make 2 or 3 of those, or have things just ready to go. It's entirely possible.
The
I think that it's too much of a coincidence that all of these
I do
names have
too.
returned.
I do too. The only thing that makes me hesitate is, of course, it just came out that the Outer Worlds 2 didn't do as good as they thought it was going to do. Neither did the other game, Avowed. And they said they're not going to have an Outer Worlds 3, and that the studio is going to focus on smaller quicker games to make. Well, that's not a Fallout game if you think about it. But
Yeah.
I did think the possibility of them helping Bethesda make a game would be, because Bethesda's been hiring some people lately too. Some big names are coming in. And I've often said you don't hire people on the end of a project. And Elder Scrolls is getting close to the end. You hire them at the beginning. So I wonder maybe they're helping one another. Maybe there's a small team at Bethesda that's going to work with Obsidian. That would sure speed it along.
Yeah, I mean it's entirely possible.
Well, that could be a
Entirely
dream.
possible.
That could be a dream game with Obsidian and Bethesda working together. If they all focus on their strengths, Bethesda on the world building, and let Obsidian do the writing and the choice and consequence and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny actually. There could be something happening here that is a direct um, consequence of how Todd Howard probably felt about New Vegas getting some of the glory, right? If he's thinking to himself, let's create a dream team here so that Fallout 5 is the best
The
there has
best.
ever been, you know? Rather than Obsidian getting the glory, I like your theory that they're combining them together because that's the strategy, isn't it?
Yes.
That way, the next great title then falls under the Bethesda banner,
Yes, that's right.
doesn't it?
That's right. Boy, that'd be I would sign off on that today. Going back to Fallout 5, my question to you is, do you have a thought, an idea where they may send Fallout 5, where it's going to be located, and where you would like to see Fallout 5?
Gosh, I genuinely have. I think since Fallout 4 has come out, I've probably sat and imagined it in just about every single US state. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you go digging around the lore and you're thinking, God, what would it be like in New York? What would it be like in such and such a place? What would it be like? Would it be possible to explore more of the NCR, the territory of the NCR? What about something that was set with, say, for example, the Legion or some other group that we have knowledge of within a completely different territory?
Yes.
There's also the part of me that, like, I played Fallout London, not completely, because the problem was that, like, I don't have like 16 computers to be able to run different. I couldn't get Fallout London to run independently with it. I need a copy of the game to do content.
Right.
Basically, like a normal copy of Fallout 4. It was a joy, even though it was unofficial, to see the world outside of America.
Yeah.
And I think an American audience would respond to a Fallout game set in Britain as well. I think there's such a cross-cultural bridge between the two countries that it would be fascinating.
It would be.
It would, that probably is never going to not never, but I don't think it will be the next one. I don't think Fallout 5 would be set abroad. I do think it will be probably, I would imagine it will be a West Coast game, I think. Because I'm not West Coast, but the west side of the country, basically.
Oh, okay.
I think West or South. I just don't know if they're going to do another East Coast. 3 and 4 were both East Coast.
Yes.
As we know. So I just have a feeling that they're going to want to do something a bit different. Could it be somewhere? What would be really fascinating? Imagine a sort of Breaking Bad type Fallout 5 where it's like set down in Albuquerque.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've got the border not far away and you've got gangs and like maybe there are gangs that have formed down there that you've got this sort of Mexican feel to it as well,
See, I've always wanted Fallout Texas. Of course, there's two reasons. One's a personal reason because Texas, in the Fallout universe, Texas and Arkansas are together, and I live in Arkansas, so that'd be great. But there are so many cool factions. Some of the Mexican factions are big in Texas. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I love that. course, fans keep pointing back to all of the references in Fallout 4 to San Francisco. Also, we know these are the two places that keep coming up. We also know that they wanted to have Fallout 4 be in New York, but they said they didn't have the technology at that time to do it. So those are the two places that keep coming up the most. Is it going to be in San Francisco or is it going to be in New York? I definitely see San Francisco not a better option, but a more probable option because of how it was mentioned so much. And they love to mention the next location in the game before. They always do.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, yeah. Fallout 3 had the replicated man quest, didn't it? With
it
the
did.
mention of the synth,
and then Fallout 4 had it talked about Vault 76 in the opening. The newscaster was talking about Vault 76 on the So they always put it in there somewhere. San Francisco may just be too obvious. It's probably some little bitty thing in Fallout 4 we've not, found yet. That's probably what it is. I found this interesting. Todd said, I get the sort of anxiety from fans like, what else? Feed me. But look, we're working on stuff, he says. And then he says, we like to wait.
Mm-hmm.
What did he mean by that?
I don't know. It's a bit of a strange.
It's a strange comment. And, I sit here and just did the math. Elder Scrolls, it's been 15 years. Single player Fallout game, it's been 11 years since we got one.
I mean, it is absolutely crazy.
But any Fallout, even if you count 76, it's been 8 years. So what do you mean you like to wait?
I mean, that's the thing. It is crazy when you say it like that, with Skyrim being 15 years ago, right? I mean, that is wild, completely wild when you think about it. I mean, I'm quite cagey about my private information. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just going to say I'm going to be 40 this year, right? Not too much specifics there. You know what it's like when people dox you and
absolutely
steal your bank account details. The date of birth is an incredible bit of information where you can go and find things out about people. But anyway,
yes.
Not that I've got anything to hide. It's just I'd like to not have my bank account emptied by scammers. But 15 years. I mean, I was what, 25?
25.
University, like going. Life wasn't too serious. You go around and see your friends. I remember. I guess there was a period of time. Skyrim is very nostalgic to me for that reason, but I don't want to spend the rest of my life I don't want to have maybe played one more of these games by the time I retire.
Hey, yeah, I'm older than you, so I feel your pain. I feel your pain, 100%. I want to actually be able to live until the next Elder Scrolls game. Elder Scrolls 7. I'm really wondering if I'm ever going to see Elder Scrolls 7. Because, if it's been 15 years, and I'm almost 15 years older than you, so not quite, I'm 14 years older than you. So y'all don't do the math. I got to read a couple of comments here. Surfer says, I believe it would be in Chicago unless we go there in the show. There are many hints towards the Midwest. Interesting. I have heard Chicago. I've heard Detroit as well. Mm-hmm. And then Surfer also said Tim Kaine has expressed many times he's not interested in working on things he's done before. Not to mention, he said we won't be able to guess what he's working on. I know I center on that quote that he gave, that you will not be able to guess what I'm working on. But I've always thought nobody would guess a Fallout 5 with Bethesda. Of course, we just did, but that would not be what you would guess. I will say this: John Gonzalez, the lead writer of New Vegas, whatever it is that Obsidian is about to work on, he said there is nothing else that would have gotten me to come back to Obsidian except for this one thing. and that's why he came back. So I mean, that's a pretty good quote too. You know, you think
Yeah.
about a guy that is famous for New Vegas, but somebody asked who asked when we thought Fallout 5 was going to come out. Well, that would be the $2,000 question. Are they already developing Fallout 5? Because we know it's been greenlit. I have an opinion whether Fallout 5 is in full development or not. But I'm going to throw it to you, Shage. Do you think they're already more than just pre-development on Fallout 5?
I would say so, because I think historically the engine, they tend to, whether it's a Fallout game or an Elder Scrolls game, I think it tends to be that your Elder Scrolls, like you had Oblivion, yeah, then you had Fallout 3 and New Vegas come out, right?
Yes.
Then you had Skyrim, and then you had Fallout 4. So it seems to be that they do. I always put Oblivion, 3 and New Vegas as sort of peers.
Yeah.
They're kind of very similar. They're basically just built out of the same thing.
They did.
I think there's a bit of a gap between Skyrim and Fallout 4 there. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
The engine was worked on, but I think what they're probably doing is, I feel like this is the most long-winded answer ever, but it's like whatever the framework they have built, the engine for the new Elder Scrolls game will speed up the process for Fallout 5
Fallout
if it's
5.
not already begun.
Yes, and we know that the engine that does Starfield just received, or we've heard from insiders anyway, that the engine for Starfield has been upgraded, even with some Unreal 5 engine tech, to help cut down on loading screens for future games like Elder Scrolls and Fallout. So evidently, yes, they've done even more work on the creation engine since the start of the Elder Scrolls 6 was my point. So, yeah, I believe the engine is fully ready. And again, I go back, I can't prove anything. I can just go back to them starting to hire a bunch of people this summer is when they started hiring. And it was right after the mention of those people being hired that it breaks that Fallout 5 has been greenlit. Well, everybody knows that Fallout 5 is going to be made, so what's the point in saying it's greenlit? I think, but this is personal again. I'm just my opinion. I believe Microsoft knows it's exactly what you said. Fallout TV show is a marketing tool, and if you don't have anything to sell, what good is it? So I think they've told them, hire who you need and get that game started. We don't want to wait 15 more years, because again, it's been 8 years since a Fallout game, 11 years since a single player Fallout game already. And they're working on Elder Scrolls right now, not Fallout. So, I think they're working on it. That's my long-winded answer for you right there.
Yeah. I mean, I still, it still boggles my mind whenever you're saying the length of time in years. It just blows. It just.
Yes.
I can't get over it.
It's crazy, isn't it? I want to give you one more thing about the Fallout TV show and Fallout 5. Both of these come together. Todd Howard told Jonathan Nolan to stay away from something specific in the Fallout franchise because he already had plans for it for Fallout 5. Now, obviously, he didn't tell us what this specific thing is. Some think it's a reference to, or a direct reference to, the Enclave, because in the TV show, the Enclave is being hinted at a lot. It's not ever just come out. I think they did say the word Enclave in season 2. But if it's not that, what in the world is it? And that's why I look at fan theories sometimes. One big fan theory is that Fallout 5 is going to be centered in Colorado around Cheyenne Mountain, which is Vault Zero from Fallout Tactics, and Fallout Van Buren, by the way. It's in both. But I don't know about that because the TV show's obviously going there next season. So It's just one of those fan theories. But I wonder what he told Jonathan Nolan to stay away from.
The thing is, it could be that could be a hint towards it being set there because it may not be relevant. Like, what? How would Nolan affect something that wasn't set in the same place? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
It seems far more likely that. I mean, if Fallout 5 was going to be set hundreds of miles away from where the series is going to be set, then that
It shouldn't
wouldn't be a
matter.
concern.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and I can't imagine it would be something super general like, don't destroy the Brotherhood of Steel, like
Yes.
or something like that. It would be some particular location or plot point or something like that, I think.
Umer, forgive me if I mispronounce your name. Umer says Starfield 2, 2,000 planets. Let's go. No. We've already said they need to do like 3 systems all handcrafted if they ever do anything else. Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to quickly say, I don't know if you had the same experience as I did with this, but like my Starfield immersion breaking moment, like what made me put the game down for a while was exploring planets that apparently had never been explored before or whatever, and then you just keep finding the same copied and pasted point of interest
Yep.
with the same people or the same like logs or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just brought me out of it. And I think there's a mod now that changes that or increases the amount of points of interest but makes them not repeat or something like
There
that.
is. Yeah, there's 2 really good ones. Yeah, the points of interest is my biggest pet peeve of Starfield. I love Starfield. Again, I don't hold it on the same level as Elder Scrolls or Fallout, but I'm going to play it right after the stream again. I'm getting ready for the new DLC. I'm getting my character ready. But yeah, the points of interest is a big problem I have with it. And then when we talk about the Elder Scrolls in a minute, I'll tell you some other problems with Starfield. But before we quit talking about Fallout, I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is not necessarily news, even though there was a news article about this. If y'all let us geek out for just a minute and talk some Fallout lore, I want to talk about Fallout 3's ending and the 2 problems and I'm talking about the original before the DLCs came out. There were 2 huge problems with the ending of Fallout 3. One of them was that it just ended. It literally ended the game. I mean, you did whatever decision you made there in the water purifier, and the credits rolled. And the recent article was Todd Howard did not expect people to hate the way it ended. He said, "We thought this was Fallout. It's great." And he said, "It wasn't. People hated it." But there's another problem that I have with the ending, even worse than that, is the writing of the ending. As you know, you're there at the water purifier. If y'all haven't played Fallout 3, by the way, play it. It's a great game because it doesn't happen like that now if you get Game of the Year. But you're there. You have 2 choices. Bethesda's great at giving you only 2 choices. You can either go into the water purifier yourself, and it's going to kill you because there's radiation in there. Or I believe it's Sarah you can send in there, Sarah Lyons. Is that right? And, then you would live, but yeah, you would be kind of cruel. But however, there are 3 companions in Fallout 3 that literally could go in there with no problem. There is Fox, the super mutant. There is a ghoul, I can't remember his name, that's a companion. And then there's a robot, Sergeant C-3PO or something. I can't remember his name either. But if you have any of those companions at the end of Fallout 3, they will not go in there. You can ask them, and they'll say, "Nope, this is your journey. This is your destiny. You got to do it." So really, they just let you go in and kill you? I mean, isn't that terrible writing?
Yeah, I mean, it was just...
I know they wanted to make this dramatic choice. Yeah, that's the girl's name. Thank you, Krish. I know they wanted to make this, very dramatic choice, but the writing was just terrible. Once they figured it out, or maybe they didn't figure it out until it came out. I don't know.
I mean,
What do you
and
think?
yeah. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking when that ending originally came out. I remember I played it on an Xbox 360 at the time, like when it came out, my first playthrough of Fallout 3, and I remember being quite annoyed with the ending. Especially for a game that, to me, at that point, bear in mind this was a pre-New Vegas world, yeah,
Yes.
that to me, that game had a lot of choice. I was like,
Yes,
wow,
it
I'm
did.
affecting the world, I'm able to go around and do things, and then suddenly you're railroaded into this ending, and that's it. Um, Obviously, Broken Steel, that introduced the post game, which was just genius, and it was
Yes,
just
it was.
absolutely the right move. Um,
And I'm pretty sure Broken Steel actually changed the writing, and now the companions will go in and do it for you. I'm almost sure that as well.
yeah, there is. There is changes to the writing,
Yes, I thought so.
for sure. Um, the thing is, though, this we could also mention New Vegas here, because New Vegas does not have, without a mod. New Vegas also, the Battle of Hoover Dam is over. Yeah,
Yes,
that's it. It's less um, rubbish than
yes,
the original Fallout 3 ending, I would say. But I always use the functional post game ending mod.
yes. I I
When I'm
think
yeah,
Obsidian's reason was that so much would change with the world. Because I mean, you have so many options, so many options. Not only do you just have the what is there four? You got Yes Man, you got House, you've got the NCR, and you got the Siegers Legion. Not only do
mhm.
you have those four choices, you can also involve the Boomers, and I'm not sure if you can involve the Great Khans or not. But I
Do
know
you know? Do you
you.
know what's crazy? You can even become the leader of the Great Khan.
Okay, there you go. So you can involve the Great Khans, and you can involve the Boomers in the end. So that's six different endings. That's a lot of changes to the
Well,
world.
I mean, what's crazy about it is, if you add up all of the different potential ending slides and do some math kind of whatever. I read a thing that said there was something like a quadrillion different potential
Wow.
ending variations or something like that for New
Yeah.
Vegas, and I thought this seems a bit crazy, but there certainly is. If you look at all of the different outcomes, yeah, and the combination, it is going to be a high number.
Yes.
There's no denying that fact. Um, the
Well,
replayability of that game is unreal.
I've never played that mod. How does it handle the world after? Does it actually
It is
show?
amazing.
Is it good? Oh, wow.
I used it to gather footage for when I made the 4 hour New Vegas video. I wanted to show impacts on the world. So
Yeah.
I actually did use the functional post game ending. Actually, to make the video, I had to complete the game multiple times to get all of the conditions to show different things. So I'd already done it before, obviously, in the past, but it was amazing actually to see, because under the house ending, functional post game ending, for instance, will add construction crews that are rebuilding parts of New
The
Vegas,
strip.
and
Oh, wow.
and get like employing people, giving them jobs. If you get the NCR ending, you'll see like food banks being opened up by them, and roads, checkpoints on the roads and things like that, and all
Wow.
sorts of stuff.
I,
Legion is the craziest.
I'm
You'll
sure. I'm sure Obsidian would have done it. We have to give them a little break. They only had 18 months to get that game complete. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Oh,
sure that
absolutely.
was a big part of why we didn't get anything past the end. I'm sure.
Yeah. And functional post game ending is as good as, like, to me, it's official. It's that good. Um, I was just about to say the Legion ending is brilliant. If you go to the strip and you go into the Lucky 38, you'll find either Caesar or Legate Lanius in there. If Legate Lanius is in charge of the Legion and you get a Legion victory, the strip is just it's chaotic. Like there's crucified people everywhere. Not only crucified, but burning while crucified. Totally destroyed all the casinos, gutted everything. Legate Lanius is brutal as an ending, and it's fun to do just to see.
Just to see what happens. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, guys, we are at the end of the hour, but if y'all are okay with it, we're going to go another 30 minutes because we've not even touched on the Elder Scrolls. I've already talked to Shades, and he said that would be fine with him. And I'm thinking about making the KingCast an hour and a half from now on. So y'all please tell me in the chat, and if you're watching this after live, let me know in the comments if y'all do want an hour and a half. Because I know an hour goes so fast. I never get to everything that I want to talk about. Let's talk Elder Scrolls for a minute. I know you're a huge Elder Scrolls fan. And, of course, Elder Scrolls 6 is the next game that's coming up. Just throwing this out there, what do you think of as a release date? Do you have a release date in your mind when you think it's coming?
Oh, gosh. I mean, to be honest, I've sort of resisted this personally, like from my side, because
you don't have to say anything. I have said 2027 all along. I know DeMarco dude, he's another YouTuber. He had said 2027 for the longest, but he told me he's given up on that now. He's pushed it to 2028. I still believe next year. I'm going to believe it till it don't happen, but you definitely don't tell us if you don't think.
Well, it's more that it's painful to wait, isn't it? And I think if I allow I probably can't be the only one who's like this, but I feel as if I allow myself to believe that it would be, say, 2027 or 2028 or something like that, and then it's not.
Yeah.
Whereas if I just kind of leave it nebulous and just think it will come when it comes,
Yes. Well,
probably when I'm 75 years old.
And I'm going to go back and say, and this is I believe this is really true what I'm saying. Most people have an idea about Bethesda, what has happened over the last 5 to 10 years, but you have to give them a little bit of leeway. In fact, I think there's 3 or 4 reasons why things have taken so long lately. Because I mean, you go back to the 2000s, and they were putting out games every 3 years. You go to the Oblivion, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim days. Man, we was getting them every 2 years there for a little bit with Obsidian's game in there. But what happened with Starfield? You've got COVID, number one. That was 2 years of chaos. For a while, they didn't even work, and then everybody was trying to work remotely from home, and I'm sure that was horrible. And that delayed things. Plus, Todd has said they redid the creation engine, and it took way longer than they expected. That's another thing. And they were doing a brand new IP, which means they had to build all the lore. There wasn't one asset made, so that's going to take a lot more time. So those 3 things just there, and I've got more, but just those 3 would make the length of that game take longer, obviously. A global pandemic, yes, and reworking of the engine that takes way, way longer, and then a new IP. So I said all that to say I believe we're going to get back to the 4-year game cycle. I think that's what they want to have. I think that's what Microsoft wants them to have. And so Starfield went out in 2023. This year would be 3 years. So next year is 4. I really believe they're going to try to get back to that 4 years per game. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're going to have these 10 and 15-year gaps anymore. Now that's just...
Yeah. I mean, it's not... it's not a good business practice, is it? Really, I
No,
mean, you've got to have products to sell.
and
I mean, that's
you gotta have fans alive. It's like you said. It's like you said that one or two more games and I'm done.
well, but that's the thing. I mean, if I was to go back to myself in 2011, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and say to myself, by the way, when it gets to 2026, the next one still won't be out. I would be 2026 would have felt like science fiction future
Yeah, Star
at that
Trek.
time,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, absolutely. I'd say you're
You know.
lying. Well, do you think it's Hammerfell? And if you do, what about Hammerfell excites you? Anything in the lore that excites you about going that direction?
I think it more than likely. I've read that a lot of people seem to kind of think that that's what it's going to be. Um,
I'm sorry,
which is
I was laughing at Gunner. He said, "Sell Skyrim again." Okay, go ahead.
Skyrim Extended Edition.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of fun could be had there. You know, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember specifically um, whether it was when it comes to the older games. I'm always a bit rusty with them. You've got your Arena and Daggerfall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Daggerfall was the massive map, wasn't it? That was the absolutely huge
Yes.
map. I think Hammerfell was in it.
Yes, it was.
In Daggerfall.
It was.
Well, obviously they could never do that scale.
No.
Um, I think,
Still one of the biggest maps ever made in a game.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, absolutely wild. I mean, I think is it not the size of Britain or something like that?
It was humongous. Yeah.
Um, I think you've got some nice scenery. Obviously, it's appeared in
Yes.
Elder Scrolls Online as well. I think
Well,
your sort
that's
of
what caught.
landscapes.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye. That in Hammerfell, and I think I mentioned this on a Kingcast before, but there are 6 distinct biodomes or areas in
Mhm.
Hammerfell. You think of the desert, but there's even jungles in Hammerfell.
Mhm.
We've never had a
That,
jungle. That sounds very interesting to me.
yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you could have that's something I would like to see. I think we saw a bit of this with Skyrim, right? Where the different parts of the map felt
Hmm.
a bit different. Like your sort of area around Riften was very different to your Dawn stuff.
Yes.
Like it was obviously very cold, icy, snowy kind of vibe. Generally speaking, is what you pick up from, or what people imagine when they think of Skyrim.
Yes.
But yeah, Hammerfell certainly, like you say, beaches, jungles. You could have areas that look a bit more like Citadel, you
Hmm.
know,
Yep.
um,
Yep. There's a
parts that look a bit like Skyrim, you know.
Yep. Yep. Got the snowy mountain region. You got the woodland forest. Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
That's super exciting. Do you believe, like I do, that we're going to see more of the gosh, I just went the dark elves that were the bad guys in Skyrim? That's going to be part, at least, of the storyline.
Oh, the Ardmeri Dominion.
Yes,
I think, I think
the
so.
Volmers, who I was trying to think of. Yeah, but it's same one, same thing.
Yeah, could well be. I mean, I think that I think it's harder to. You can sort of with Fallout's universe, you can kind of speculate a bit more easily on what might, what clues have been offered and what might happen next. When it comes to the Elder Scrolls, with the story aspect of it, I mean, could it be 50 to 100 years after Skyrim, maybe? Um,
I honestly think, and I don't know why I think this. I think they're going to do it closer. I think it would be like 20 to 50 years. So I think it'd be close. And I think that the Volmer is going to be big part of the story. Now there may be more because you think Hammerfell was one of the main places of the Great War. The Red Guards were one that stood up to him more than anyone and took a lot of damage during the Great War. So I think we're probably, if they do it around Skyrim's time, you're going to see that. And in some of the main cities, you're going to see the war damage. And I hope they stay closer to Skyrim. I understand why they skip sometimes in time, but I like a story that kind of keeps going and you can follow it that way.
Yeah. I'm just looking up. I'm trying to see, because I don't think the Ordinary Dominion are the Ordinary Dominion. I don't think are fully in control of Hammerfell.
Yeah, no, they're not because the Red Guards were like I said, the main one that stood up to them and resisted them and held them off. So that's why I think they may dive into that story a little bit more. That war may be still going on.
Yeah, I always find the White Gold Concordat, that whole thing, really interesting as well.
Yes.
The political side of all of that.
Yes.
Yeah, but it will be interesting to see.
Yeah, because Hammerfell is actually not part of the kingdom anymore, right? Isn't that right? They actually left over that, didn't they? They're the only independent state now.
On the whole of Tamriel?
Yeah. Yes.
So you've got you're.
That's why it's got to center around that. While you're thinking about that, I want to get into this before we get done, and we're already almost done with this 30 minutes. We're halfway done. There's a few things that I really want in the Elder Scrolls 6. Some of them were in Skyrim, and they changed them for Starfield. And I told you I was going to get back into Starfield. And some of my people are going to go, oh no, he's talking about it again. But when Fable was announced, and I don't know if Fable interests you at all, but when Fable was announced, it really got me thinking about some of the decisions they made with Starfield as compared to Skyrim, which was so successful. One of the things that Fable promises is, and again, they haven't pulled this off yet, I know, but they said they have 1,000 handcrafted NPCs. Every one of them has a schedule. Every one of them you can interact with. Well, look at that compared to Starfield. This breaks a lot of immersion for me when everybody in the town is not somebody you can talk to. I mean, there's almost nobody you can talk to in Starfield. None of those are, they're just mindless NPCs. They're not on a schedule. They're just random. And in fact, you walk onto the elevator, and if one walks on with you, it'll disappear. It's weird. So I really want them to go back to the handcrafted NPCs that have a schedule, and I would love if you could actually interact with them.
Well, what's difficult actually, what I don't like about Starfield and in fact this whole approach is that at least in the games that just the NPCs were the NPCs, you know what I mean? Like you knew who you had and hadn't spoken to because every single person was someone special.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Whereas now, I mean, if you've got thousands of these mindless ones walking about, you could be losing decent NPCs in the crowd, couldn't you?
Yes.
Like you might not be coming across them, but I think what
great point.
Literal thinking is basic thinking, isn't it? I think they thought to themselves, if we want it to look busy, we need to add more people or whatever. People. What they haven't realised is that the power of imagination is a thing.
Yes.
Yeah, like you can imagine there's more people around the corner or whatever.
Absolutely.
Like, you know?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be just in the same way that, you know, the Skyrim map, for example, isn't 1-to-1 scale to actually what it would be, because or for God's sake, Fallout New Vegas. Do you imagine how long it would take to walk across the desert?
Las New Vegas, yeah.
I mean, you would be days.
76 the
Nothing.
same way. You got a whole state there for 76.
Yeah.
Well, another thing with the NPCs, and this is where my people are really going to go, oh no, here he goes again. In Skyrim, you had so many choices of who you could romance and marry. And you moved to to Starfield, and this is the way I put it. If you're a heterosexual male, you've got two choices. If you're a heterosexual female, you've got one choice. I mean, that I know they wanted to get deeper, backstories and all that, but I love the choice with Skyrim. It feels like anybody I want in the world, I can just go pick. In Starfield, you don't have a choice. Well,
Yeah.
you look at Fable. Fable says you can marry anybody. You can. I wish they would go back that direction with the Elder Scrolls. Hopefully, they will.
I think they must
Yeah.
surely. I mean, I feel as if it may feel like I'm sort of just bashing Starfield here, but that game really puzzles me. I just can't fathom how the company that made Skyrim and Oblivion and all that, and the Fallout games made this.
Made some of those choices. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And as well, I mean, the thing is, this was my personal feeling about this, and maybe there will be people who adore these characters, but I don't know. But I just felt as if Constellation were just a bit kind of boring and unlikable.
Bland, yeah. Bland.
I mean, I married, what's her name?
Sarah, yeah.
One of the first play. Well, I think I played through it twice or something. But I married her, and then my life just became this endless stress with Sarah complaining at me all the time.
I married the wrong person.
It just didn't feel like an enjoyable experience. I remember as well, I'd pick something up and she'd say, "Oh, what are you picking that junk up for?"
Don't
and
pick up so much junk.
200,
Well,
I just picked up 200 credits.
And the funny thing was, one time she'll say, "Don't forget to pick up everything," and then her next comment is, "Why are you picking up that stuff?" It's like that's some immersion breaking there too. Another thing Fable has, and of course this has always been a thing with Fable, but I think I would love it in an Elder Scrolls game. In Fable, you can buy any house. Not only can you buy the house, you can become the landlord of the house. And then you could also buy the businesses and hire and fire the employees in the businesses. I would love to see a little bit more interaction there in the community than just, here's one house you can buy,
Yeah. I mean, Fable was never out for PC, was it? It was console exclusive, I believe.
I know the Fable 2 and 3 were console exclusives, so I don't know about the original. I never played them. I had never played them until I saw this new one. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'd heard about basically the freedom in Fable was something that's basically my favourite thing in possible in any game is the amount of freedom that you're offered.
Yes.
I've never played any of the Fable games, but I have longed to play. So when I saw this new version of it come out, I became quite excited because I thought, Now, I'm a PC gamer, so I don't know whether it will come to PC. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd hope it would, but it may not. It may be an exclusive.
Fable Anniversary you can get on PC now because I did download it and started playing it. So that's the first one that they redid. Cecil says,
Oh, wow.
In Skyrim, you can marry a beautiful hag raven. And Gunter said, I want a divorce. Another thing they have to do much better than they did in Starfield. And again, I'm not just beating up on Starfield. I'm just pointing out they've got to come up with some kind of karma system again. And you don't even have to call it the karma system, but in Starfield, you pretty much was roped into being the good guy. Now, yes, you could go with the Crimson Fleet, but all of the companions would get mad at you if you stole stuff or anything like that. I mean, you literally, there was not an option for a bad playthrough through most of the game. And
Yeah.
even if you went with the Crimson Fleet, it just didn't work because the companions didn't line up with that kind of lifestyle. So, when it comes to the Elder Scrolls 6, do you think we'll see some kind of karma system come back?
I would like to.
Yeah.
Whether or not they do it or not, I couldn't say. But I think what we need basically is a return to the quality level that we had in the past, where you could affect the world and you could. Do you know what I mean? The world would react to your choices, whether it was
Yes.
people or whatever. In Starfield, unfortunately, I mean, I don't know whether they've fixed things like this, but I remember at one point I actually shot the leader of the. Do you remember the ship that you would go to when you were trying to fight against the pirates?
Yes.
And you would go to this military
Yeah.
naval vessel or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the name of it, but I went onto there and shotgunned the boss in the face.
I did that. Yeah.
And then came back later and joined him.
The Yusef. Oh, really? Oh, no.
Yeah. So it was just one of those things where I thought to myself, well, he's immortal, obviously, because he's survived no matter what, being shotgunned directly point blank range into the face. But
well, that's
he will
another
forgive
thing.
me for that.
That's another thing they've done. They've made almost every NPC non-killable.
Uh-huh.
And
whatever happens to damage on bodies, like you'll notice as well, like in Fallout, you'd blow someone's arm off, you'd blow someone's head off, whatever. Doesn't happen in Starfield, does it?
No. If I remember right, in Skyrim, because it's been a while and I'm old, but I'm almost sure I remember Lydia dying on me, like literally dying, and I was so upset. I had to go back and resurrect her by going back to another save. But you think about it in Starfield, especially all the important ones, you can't get rid of them. I think they changed that in Fallout 4. All your Fallout 4 ones can't go either. And I think what it boils down to is, and one of the guys that did an interview not long ago talked about this. He said, we made all this content for them, and we don't want people to miss it. Well, that's part of what another playthrough is for. That's called replayability.
Yeah.
I really wish they would take that "they can't die" off the table.
I mean, let's just contrast this with New Vegas for a second, right? Now, I know that there'll be members of an audience who will roll their eyes whenever I say New Vegas, right? Because they'll be thinking, oh, he's just a New Vegas fanboy or whatever. But, like, the thing with New Vegas it's the opposite of what we've just discussed, because my favourite story of New Vegas, I'll always tell people, is when I first played the game and I decided to take Boone with me to murder Caesar at the start of the game, right, when I first got Boone. And I didn't know whether the game was going to allow me to do this or not, right? But the game at a very early stage allowed me to kill what effectively was the bad guy.
Yeah.
But Boone reacted. Boone said to me, man, that was some kind of shit we just pulled off. Like, can't believe
you just pulled that off. That's awesome.
And he said, I bet Caesar never saw that coming when he was having his coffee this morning or whatever. And then but that is an NPC reacting to your. Think about what Obsidian did there, right? They must have sat down and thought,
somebody's going to do this.
Possible that,
somebody's going to do this.
Yeah, and then Legatlanius takes over, and then whatever that kind of goes from there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's that difference. It's as if That's the standard that I would want. I would want the game to be reactive to that degree.
Yes.
Because here's the thing: we know that it could be done.
Yes.
There's not an excuse.
No. Bethesda has always had trouble with choice and consequence. That's never been their strong suit, in my opinion. Bethesda likes to give you the appearance of choice. In other words, it's a yes or no, but whichever way you say, the dialogue's going to flip right back around to whatever it was in a minute. Because I mean, like all Bethesda fans, I like to replay, and I'll say something different than I did last time, and I'll go, "Oh, this wound up the same exact way."
Yeah, and it's funny. There was a comment from someone. Let me just see what that comment was. New Vegas was I think it was the Game Adaptions newscast. The Game Adaption newscast. New Vegas was the Fallout I played the least. I still prefer 3. Now here's the thing. I will say about Fallout 3. Because the thing is, when you mention New Vegas, people think that you hate Fallout 3, right? Or you don't like Fallout or whatever. And you're a New Vegas guy, and that's it, and nothing, whatever. I can still love Fallout 3. Like I love it in a different way.
Yes,
it doesn't have the same level, like you've said. They struggle with offering choices to players. They do struggle with that, but they created one of the greatest games of all time.
Yes.
In Fallout 3. It is a monumental achievement.
Yes.
I mean, look at the size of that map and the amount of content that there is in that game. And in fact, funnily enough, Fallout 76 is mentioned in Fallout 3.
Yes.
As well.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep. Yeah. So but it's a wonderful game.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. And I will often, my setup on my computer is Tale of Two Wastelands.
Yes.
So I like to play through 3 and take the character to New Vegas.
Yes.
I like to do that, and I like to be able to visit back and forth and all of that kind of thing. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I wouldn't want anybody to think that my preference towards New Vegas or using it as an example means that I've got anything against
Absolutely.
3, because I don't.
Now, I feel the same way you do. I feel like Bethesda is the best world builders of any studio. That's what, it's exploring and finding things in the strangest places. Bethesda does that so well. So well. And what Obsidian did with New Vegas is, well, 2 things I always say. The factions are so great in Fallout New Vegas. Not just the main factions, but there's these mini factions everywhere, like the Boomers and the Kings. And I think that's why New Vegas is so good, is because basically Obsidian was using Bethesda's world builder. So they were able to pull off something almost as good as Bethesda as far as the world goes. But if you think about it, New Vegas is not big and sprawl and go anywhere. It's really not, because you're almost right there at Vegas when you start the game. If you could get through the death claws, they just make you go all the way around the outside. So it's really a linear game if you think about it, in a way. Okay. But it has that feel of a Bethesda world because it's all Bethesda assets. But then you've got Obsidian's writing and choice and consequence and factions. I think that's why New Vegas hits so good, because it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think when it comes to linearity, I agree. I think the world, I think it can feel linear if you're following the main quest up through that map. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think it nudges players along that route for sure.
Yeah.
However, the map is totally free. Of course, like you said, you can just go north to Vegas if you want, straight from Goodsprings, which is madness, you know. But you can make it. What's really interesting, though, I mean, here's one for you, right? Did you know that if you make it to New Vegas, to the Strip, before you go to Nipton, now when you go to Nipton originally, you meet Vulpes and Coulter, and they've killed all the people of Nipton, yeah?
Right.
So if you go to the Strip, you will meet Vulpes and Coulter there first before you meet him in Nipton, right? But you can actually kill him in the Strip, and then when you go to Nipton, there's a fully voiced alternative guy who takes over
Wow.
and delivers the lines. There's also, if you leave Vulpes and Coulter alive, if you then go to Nipton and do it back to front, he will say, "Oh, I wonder if you recognise me from the Strip."
Isn't that awesome?
You know,
They thought of
so
everything.
every single possible thing they seem to have thought of. It is absolutely wild.
That's what
Really,
makes
really
it.
wild.
That's what makes it a masterpiece. It really is a masterpiece. Well, Shades, we're out of time, and we even went 30 minutes over. I should have mentioned this during the middle of the show. I did at the start, but if y'all have not subscribed to Shades, please do so. It is the pinned comment in the chat. It's also in the description. So y'all, please, before you get out of here, subscribe to him. He puts out great Bethesda content. If you like lore, he goes into lore. Again, tell a little bit about your channel before we go.
Yeah, it's basically a fairly young-ish channel, covering predominantly Elder Scrolls and Fallout lore, also things like urban legends and just things that are interesting, your cut content, things like that, and on occasion 4-hour-long video essays about why I love a game, particular game so much. So yeah, that's it. Really, it's hopefully chilled, relaxing content that you could just relax to, and nothing overly mad, 1,000 edits a second or whatever.
Right. Well, I sure appreciate you being on here. I've enjoyed it. Thanks everyone for watching as well. Y'all make sure you like this video before you get out of here as well. Shades, I'll have to have you back sometime.
Yeah, would love to. Thank you.
Well, y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks for spending just this little bit of time